Okay, so just a short video, just introduction to our lovely brand new Hymer Grand Canyon S 4x4, which we've just got. Nice vehicle. Don't know whether the 4x4 capabilities are going to be as good as the rusty old Hilux, but we shall see. So, what is it? So it's a really nice van. It's only been with us for 3 or 4 weeks, but we've just come out from a couple of weeks in Scotland, so it's still a little bit grubby. The first thing you notice is that it's big. It's big, and this is grey. First time my mum saw it, she said, God, it looks like an elephant. So of course it's now called Nelly. Outside, what can I tell you? Ground clearance is pretty good. It's not what you'd expect on a full-on 4x4, but it's not bad ground clearance. The electric step is probably the lowest point, but yeah, for most stuff on this, it's hardcore off-roading. It's going to be good. Comes with these tyres, which I will change. We'll get some probably some nice Goodrich all-terrain tyres on some nicer rims sometime soon. Slightly wider tyres. Round the back, worth noting, we had a tow bar fitted, and I bought this step arrangement, which is really good. It's very solid. It makes it much easier to get up in the back of the van because, as I say, the whole thing is pretty high. Reversing camera up there, which is absolutely essential because you can't see a bloody thing behind, and an awning, which is hopefully going to be useful when it's very hot somewhere. So, talking of the step, it's quite a step up. So the electric step, I can't even remember if that was standard or an option, but that is pretty well essential to get up into the thing. So we went for the biggest engine option, which I think is like 190 horsepower. Not sure if that was a smart move because it's pretty bloody thirsty. The next level down was 160 something horsepower, is probably fine and might be a bit more frugal. Automatic gearbox, which is great, very smooth, and low ratio gearbox as well, which is pretty handy. It was a very cheap option, so I thought it was well worth having. So inside the van, it's a really nice drive, comfortable driving position. Obviously the seats with armrests, which I find really comfy. We went for the bigger option on the multimedia screen because that pretty much controls everything, and I think that was worthwhile as well. Lots of controls on the steering wheel. You see a little reminder to the driver there that you are driving quite a high vehicle, 2.85 meters, round that up to 3 meters. So some low bridges and low hanging branches, you need to think about that. What else can I tell you? It's a comfortable, it's a usual sort of arrangement with the swivelling seats that turn around. That table folds up, so it's comfortable sort of seating and eating area for 2 or 3 people. Probably a bit of a squeeze for 4, but it's great for 2 or 3 people. The seats in the back have got seat belts. They're crash-proof seats. They're probably not the most comfortable seats in the world for a long journey. They're quite upright. Good enough for kids, but otherwise probably occasional use only. Decent storage. The kitchen area, which has got the hob and the sink under there, and drawers, good spacious drawers, but you do need to think about stopping the rattles, because otherwise it will drive you nuts with things rattling around, but you can do that with a bit of ingenuity. High level cupboards there above the table, and high level cupboards above the kind of kitchen area and all around the back into the bedroom. Big fridge, really nice spacious fridge, which is great. On our last van it was big enough for about 2 bottles of beer and that was it, but you can actually get food in here as well as beer, so that's a bonus. So yeah, the kitchen area works absolutely fine. The bedroom area, okay, so the bedroom area, got my tape measure out ready here. So important thing to note is that this bed is exactly
6'3", 1.9 meters. So that's fine for me. I'm about 5'10" and a half. If you are very tall, you might feel a bit cramped. Your feet might be a bit curled up at the end. Otherwise, it's fine. It's actually a pretty comfortable bed. The width is pretty good too. Just going to take a measure out here. So the width is 1.3 meters. So 4'3". So it's not bad width. We went for the options of as many opening windows as possible. So at the back there are opening windows in each of the two doors. They've all got screens. There's an opening window there, and there's a roof light up there. In the front area, there's obviously an opening window there above the table. There's an opening window in the sliding door, which you can't see. And there's a roof light up there, so the screens work pretty well. So you know, I have Mozzie screen or the blackout screen, and they open up right up, so you get nice sort of ventilation. So yeah, we thought you can't have too much ventilation. The bathroom and toilet area is fine. It's good. I mean, it's compact, but it works fine. One or two little niggly things that Hymer should have thought of that I have improved on. For some strange reason, they did not have a bracket for the shower head at high level. I have no idea why, because there's a little slot in the curtain, so that can stick through that, no problem at all. So I've fixed that. Bog roll holder was in a stupid position, so I've moved that. These tie backs, these curtains don't hold, so when you're driving the curtains come out and they're flapping all over the place. So that's next on my list to improve, but that's an easy job. All in all, it's pretty good. The bog works well. Yeah, it makes life a lot more comfortable. The basin folds down. Again, that's quite a good use of space, and I think that works pretty well. So that's the interior. We've added one or two little bits and pieces. There's a little bin down there because I haven't added a bin for some reason, which I think is a bit remiss. Some good storage underneath the bed, and with the back doors open, that runs all the way through. The bed lifts up, so you can put bikes or whatever inside. We've used these plastic storage crates, which are stackable, for just storing stuff. We've got a little fold-up step there because it's a bit of a step up into the bed otherwise, but with a little folding step, or one of those little plastic folding steps, it's fine. So that's pretty much it. What would I do differently? Well, as I say, perhaps a smaller engine option. Possibly the electric closing door, because when you close the slider, it's a heavy thing and it requires a bit of a crunch to close it. So I don't know, maybe the electric slider might have been beneficial. Apart from that, I don't think there's anything I'd do differently. As I say, we're going to get better wheels and tyres on. I will get a spare wheel carrier to go on the back, which bolts straight onto these hinges, the door hinges, top and bottom. Some versions clamp around the edge of the door. Some versions you actually have to drill a little hole here. But I think it needs a spare wheel. All the space underneath is taken up by tanks and stuff, but I think a spare wheel is necessary. So, and bike carrier will also go on the back. The other thing I'll do is that in the cupboard behind those folding chairs, there's two bloody great gas bottles, which I think are unnecessarily large. So it only powers the cooker because the heater's diesel. They will last for years, so I'm going to take those out and put two smaller ones just to save a bit of weight and space. But yeah, some good storage in the back, easily accessible. So that's it. That's the elephant. That's Nelly. Very happy. It's a beautiful van. It's really nice to drive. It all works well, and it bloody well should do for the price.